Rogue Tier, we still winning. Magic Cardo, we extending. Dark Law, he still contending. Sunrise, your lights in it. Yugi peoples and fellow members of My Hero Academia, welcome to the commentary of my live duels. So I'm playtesting with my boy Ed E-Man Robinson, and we're getting ready for the regionals coming up here on the 26th. I'm not sure how I want to play my hero deck, but y'all know I'm always trying to do something a little different. You know, I want to win, but I want to win with something a little bit different. So this is me playtesting a going second hero build that I'm trying to see if I can get it to work. I guess like the main difference between this one and a regular hero deck is like I'm trying to take advantage of e-tailing and Hakwa firebacks, and you know, to go into access code talker while using my hero stuff to make sure, well, using access code talker to make sure that my hero stuff is enough to get the OTK through along with him. I'm on heroes and he's on live twin safe lock. My build has 15 going second cards in it, so I'm trying to draw 2 hand traps like everybody else. Right here I have the Ash, because I know there's nothing else to Ash in the live twin deck except for maybe a draw, but he has the cross out designator, as you can see. And if y'all saw my hand, I am maining cross out designator. I have the second hand trap like I would have to. I have a starter, really like 2 starters, so I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to win this game unless he has like a whole nother extender on top of that cross out. And like I said, I Ash there because I know there's nothing else really to Ash inside of the deck, because now that they have them in the graveyard, they're going to start special summoning them from the graveyard. And to keep him from drawing and doing popping and start doing all that stuff, I'm going to go ahead and imperm right here and hope that he doesn't have an extender. And he did not have the extender. So now I've been thinking inside of my hand, how can I OTK him? But I just put the deck together and I'm about to realize a big mistake is that I drew Fusion Destiny for turn. But the problem is, as y'all can see, I have the cross out for his Ash also. Ash getting crossed out up in here. But I drew Fusion Destiny for turn, but at the time I only had 2 D heroes inside of my deck, just Denier and Mally. And I went to go get Vion, and since I used Shadow Mist to dump with Foolish Burial, I can't send Mally because then my Fusion Destiny would be dead. So yeah, this was a mistake that I learned, and there are 3 games that we played, 3 matches that we played, and I think finally in the 3rd match I went ahead and fixed that and added Honest Neos back into my deck. So right here I'm thinking like, I messed up because I only have Denier and Mally and there's really nothing else for me to send. Since it's an OTK deck, I'm thinking in my head as I'm searching through, because y'all see I'm really trying to, I just go ahead and decide to send Stratos because of the way my build works. Stratos doesn't really do too much off inside of here. So go ahead, banish Shadow Mist, add Poly. Right now, like, I'm scared of people maining Nib. So I'm trying to figure out in my mind, how can I OTK him in under 4 summons? And you know, that's kind of like the goal of the deck, is to be able to use my double hand traps to keep my opponent's board to a minimum. And then if I have to use my cross out early like I did against his Ash, I want to be able to OTK in 4 summons. So I go ahead and Fusion the Destiny and bring out my Phoenix Enforcer, banish Mally Boy to special summon Mally Boy, and that'll be 3 summons right there. And I did draw Mass Change, and I'm running Anki inside of the deck. So right now I'm just thinking I'm gonna go ahead and Mass Change my Mally, bring out Denier so that I have my 4 summons on board. Before we go into battle phase, he go ahead and activate his Live Twins effect in battle phase. I'm gonna attack with Mally, Mass Change into Anki, attack over, use Anki's effect to add Mass Change. And he's losing attack because of Phoenix Enforcer. As y'all can see, I did my 5th summon in the battle phase. That way he can't nib me. And because his board didn't have enough monsters on there, I'm able to just easily OTK him with that hand. Now, going into game 2, we didn't side this game. You know, I said we're just kind of playtesting. And I'm not sure if I can't remember who won the dice roll. But, you know, like most decks, especially a deck that's trying to scythe lock, you know, they're going first. And, you know, my deck is built for going second. It's like about 11. It might be like 11, 12 hand traps. I'm pretty sure there's about 15 going second cards off of there, including 2 droplets and 2 lightning storms. So going into game 2 right here, you know, I'm hoping that I open up the 2 hand traps, because that's what you need in order to stop most decks these days. And I see that I have Nibiru in hand. I know that he's not running an adventure package, but at this point I'm also don't know that he's running Scythe Lock, because I didn't ask him what he was playing before we actually got started. And, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and let him play out, and I know that at the end I can go ahead and nib them and just hope that he doesn't have the cross out. I know I didn't do a very good job of showing my hand, but I do have the double hand trap. So even if they did have, you know, the adventure package or some kind of omni negate or something, you know, I have the nib and imperm, and I opened up with starters. The only thing is, in this build I'm currently only running 1 Stratos and 1 Shadow Mist, and I'm just kind of trying to get to Vion is basically what it is, because I know that Vion is like the main card that I need. There's no Ferris in here right now, so, you know, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying something a little bit different, because I want to fit a bunch of hand traps off in there. I want to go second and just kind of OTK my opponent. So right here now I realize that he's using the Scythe Lock, and I'm trying to decide if I should go ahead and just imperm the Dagda to keep him from going on. But I know also that once he starts using their effects, he's locked into Fiends, so he can't go Fusion Destiny into DPE. So I just figure at the end, as long as I just nib him, then there won't be anything else for him to do. I'll go ahead and nib right here, because I don't want him going into the other one and start drawing cards and getting card advantage off of that. So I'll go ahead and nib him right there. Now, that ended up being a play mistake. I should not have nibbed right there, because like I said, I have imperm in hand, and I didn't think that they have the spell card that allows them to discard and to play another live twin and extend past that. And he also plays Monster Reborn, so the nib ended up being a bad idea, because now I can't activate imperm. So, you know, in the future I need to remember that, you know, in decks like this, it's probably better to just go ahead and probably imperm the Dagda, and then if they keep on going or whatever, I'll just go ahead and nib them after that. So now he's got the Sunny on board. I know he's got the Pop, because he can bring back both the live twins, and he's gonna Scythe Lock me, and I can attack over the Sunny thing because it's got 3,300 and my nibs only got 3,000. So right here, I'm just kind of thinking, looking at my hand. I think I drew Miracle Fusion for turn, which wasn't all that great. My hand's not really all that good right now, because it's what a Hero Lives, Stratos, Imperm that I can't play, and Foolish Burial. I'm just kind of waiting, trying to go ahead and just let them Scythe Lock me, because I already know this is going to happen. There's pretty much anything I can't do to it, but at least Trouble Sunny will be off the board, and, you know, I got a big enough attacker to be able to attack over his monster. So right here, he goes ahead and change Trouble Sunny's effect to my Foolish Burial. I'm gonna send Shadow Mist, because my only targets really inside of this deck are Shadow Mist and Mally. And I'll send Shadow Mist because I need to be able to get to Vion, hoping that I live through the next turn. And he uses his Live Twins effects. He'll draw 1 card, and he uses Scythe. And like I said, since I have nib on board, I cannot imperm the scythe. And I'm gonna go ahead and summon Stratos, try to set up for next turn and hope that he doesn't kill me next turn. Go ahead and add Liquid Soldier, that way when I summon Vion, I can get the draw 2 with Liquid Soldier's effect. And it's a good thing, like all the monsters are pretty weak, so I can attack over them really easily. I'll go ahead and kill the one that allows him to pop, and kill the one that allows him to draw. I really don't care if he kills my Stratos next turn. He can use some effect to decrease the attack of my Nibiru by the amount of damage that he took from my previous attack, which I did not know, so I'm gonna have to make sure I pay attention if I play against live twins at the regional in the future to make sure that I attack in the right order that doesn't keep me from being able to kill him. Well, I set the imperm, hoping to stop his stuff. He draws the Feather Duster, which is main decked for some strange, odd reason, but you know, it is what it is. Yes, I can't really say anything though, since I am main decking 2 Lightning Storms. Like in my area, like there are quite a few Eldritch pink card players, so we kind of be ready for those. That way we don't just hard lose to it. And Cyberse Eldritch is the deck. Yep. So I'll go ahead and activate Imperm. You know, it's in a weird column. I don't think it'll ever really come up or make any difference, so it's cool. He uses his Trouble Sunny effect to send that live twin that allows him to send one of my cards to the grave and hits my nib. But fortunately, he didn't draw any other live twins, so he doesn't have like really any engine right now, so all he can do is use Scythe to attack over my Stratos. So I got extremely lucky in this regard. He sets one back row, and like as I draw for my turn, I'm already contemplating in my head, alright, this is what I need to do in order to kill him. Now, activated Hero Lives, and I forgot that inside of my deck, you know, there's only one Stratos, but I don't really mind. I'm trying to go for the OTK now. I'm gonna go ahead and send Shadow Mist. He Ghost Ogres it. I'm gonna add my Mass Change, and I already have Vion in hand, so I know that I'm gonna send Mally. So then after I send Mally, I know that I'm gonna banish the Mist in order to add the Polymerization to my hand. And while I'm doing this, I'm thinking inside of my head like what I need to have all on board in order to OTK him in under 4 summons. And like looking at it right now, like I have the cards and the damage in order to be able to do it, but when I activated Liquid Soldier's effect, I'm gonna draw into the E-Telly, and I was like, oh, I really just want to show off and do this. So I end up like doing it because I definitely had enough to be able to kill him, because at this point I'm at 3 summons and I have Mass Change in hand. So all I really had to do was Miracle Fusion and bring out Ab-Zero, and you know, attacking with those is like more than enough damage. But like he hasn't activated his back row, and most people, you know, they try to negate Vion's effect, and since he didn't negate Vion's effect, I figured that I'm good. And if I do get nibbed, I still have the Miracle Fusion to be able to go into Ab-Zero. So just to show that it's off inside of there, because he didn't know what kind of deck or what I was doing with my hero deck either. So I go ahead and, you know, bring out the Ghost Ogre into Hulk, and Hulk's effect to summon the Veiler. And I'm gonna do my Selene thing, you know. Yeah, I did steal this from Sky Strikers. So Selene, with me playing heroes and my opponent going first, I figured that I should always have enough spells in the graveyard for her effect to be live. And I'm gonna go into Access Code Talker and go ahead and pop. And with the increase from Sunrise and, you know, the attack that both of them have, this will be enough damage in order to OTK him. So game 1 and game 2 in this first match was very successful. Both games I opened up double hand trap. I kind of messed up in the second game with activating Nib before I activated Imperm, and I haven't really main decked Nib, or I haven't really played like Nib too much. You know, I'm always the one getting nibbed instead, so I'm just gonna have to remember that for future duels. Stay